welcome to our channel. Here is our Amsterdam travel diary. As you can see, we just got off the plane at Schiphol airport, which is one of the busiest airports in Europe. The name Schiphol means ship hole because this used to be a lake where ships would sink. Schiphol is built mostly below sea level, so this airport is technically underwater. Next up is the wait for bags. Schiphol handles over 70 million passengers a year, so the system is pretty efficient. But if at all your bag doesn't show up or comes out damaged, head to the airline desk. But you will need your baggage tag to file a report. What we usually do is we pack our essentials in our carry-on, just in case because it would come in handy during such situations. When you come out of the baggage claim, you will find a lot of shops like gift shops, travel accessory shops and cafes. You will even find exchange houses where you can exchange your dollars to the local currency. There are also tourist information desks where you can get the local map or grab one of the public transport guides. Right outside is the transport hub. Trains run into Amsterdam Central in under 20 minutes. It's quick, cheap, and way faster than taking a taxi. So I would advise you take a taxi only if you can't carry your luggage in a train or a bus. We took the metro to our hotel in Fizosstraat. Super easy. The public transport here is all connected and you can use one OV chip card across trains, trams, buses and metros. Remember, the last metro is at 1 a.m. so keep that in mind when you go out late. After dropping our bags at the hotel, our first stop was Nieuwmarkt Square. The building you see was once a city gate back in the 1400s. Then it was turned into a wag, which was a weighing house for traders. Today it's surrounded by cafes, which are crowded during the evenings, and it's also a perfect spot to grab a quick Dutch snack. We took a short walk from Nieuwmarkt Square to the Dam Square, which is the real heart of Amsterdam. The name comes from the first dam built on the river Amstel in the 13th century. Around the square you can see the Royal Palace, the new church and the national monument that remembers the people who died in World War II. The Royal Palace used to be the city hall during the Dutch Golden Age. Now it's where the king holds official events. Around the square you'll see a lot of street performers and shops, which makes this place much more livelier today. On day 2, we took the metro again, heading to Zuiderkerk. On the streets, of course, you cannot miss the bikes. In Amsterdam, bikes are everywhere here. Families use cargo bikes, some carry kids, some carry groceries. Cycling is just part of their lifestyle. This is the Zuiderkerk or Southern Church. It was built in the early 1600s and it's the very first Protestant church in Amsterdam. The style is typical of that time in the Netherlands. Tall windows, neat brickwork, and a simple but elegant design. Its tower is one of the landmarks of the city, with a clock and a set of bells that still ring across the neighborhood. Just a few minutes away from Zuiderkerk is the Oude Kerk, Amsterdam's oldest building dating back to 1306. Inside you'll see beautiful stained glass windows and one of the largest wooden ceilings in Europe. This medieval era church sits right in the middle of the busy city around it. You cannot visit Amsterdam without going on a canal tour. There are over 100 kilometers of canals here, so seeing the city by a boat is a must. You can catch a boat at Damrak near Central. I suggest you try a smaller, local canal cruise. They give you a quieter, more authentic experience. One of the iconic buildings you'll see by the canal is the Central Station. This station is the largest railway station in Amsterdam and is also the main station that connects to other European countries. This building was designed in the late 1800s and sits over 8,000 wooden piles to keep it stable in the waterlogged ground. Next up, the Noord-Zuid Holland Coffee House. This cafe has been serving coffee and snacks since the 1920s. It is said to be a great stop for a traditional Dutch apple pie. Floating right on the water is the Sea Palace, Europe's first floating Chinese restaurant, shaped like a giant pagoda. This restaurant can seat nearly 900 guests. During your journey, you'll also find a lot of houseboats, and Amsterdam's houseboats are one of a kind. Originally, after World War II, there was a housing shortage, so people turned boats into homes. Today, they are fully equipped houses with kitchens, bathrooms, and even gardens on the deck. These houseboats are super expensive to own. This tower is Montalbaanstoren. Built in 1516 as part of the city walls, sailors used it as a landmark to find their way home. Throughout your canal ride, you will see these beautiful trademark Amsterdam buildings. If you look closely at the rooftops, you'll see a hook. The reason is because the staircases in these buildings are so narrow, so people use these hooks along with pulleys to lift furniture through the windows. And this system is still in use today. On day 3, we took a bus ride to Zaandam. Zaandam is a colorful town, known for its green wooden houses and windmills. In the 1600s, it was one of the first industrial areas in the world. Here you can see the Dutch windmills. In the 17th century, there were over 600 of these in this area. They were used to grind grain, make paint, saw wood, and even press oil. They powered Amsterdam's rise as a trade empire. If you get the opportunity, do climb up a windmill. The views over the countryside are amazing. We had the opportunity to visit a wood mill. Here's how the process is. The wood logs are first let to float on the water to make it soft. Then they are brought to the mill where you can see the wind power saws the logs into planks. This was key for building ships during the Dutch Golden Age. These ships traveled all over the world. Some of these mills, like this one, are still functional today and produce products that you can buy locally.
In the windmill there is an axle with crankshaft. And with a crankshaft you can get from the rotation of the wings the movement of going up and down. So the wings are rotating and the frames are going up and down. There's always one frame going down, it's lifting the other one up in balance. So that's why it runs quite easy.
Next, we headed to Marken, a fishing village filled with wooden houses. It felt like they had a life much different from the city. Here, we visited a Clog workshop and got to see how wooden shoes were made. Back in the days, farmers wore them because they were cheap, waterproof, and tough. These days, they are mostly souvenirs, but some farmers still wear them.
Inside. Wow! Great job, Sebastian!
These workshops have their own stores where you can buy clogs of all sizes. From Marken, we took a boat to Volendam. This town is famous for its fishing heritage, traditional costumes, and a harbour lined with seafood stalls and many other street food shops. One of the best activities here is to get your traditional costume photos. The Netherlands exports more cheese than almost any other country. At this shop, we got to watch how Gouda and Edam cheese were made. Some cheese here are aged in wooden shelves for months or even years to develop flavor. Then we got to taste the cheese, which is the best part. There are so many varieties to try, and if you find a favorite, do buy some to take home with you. If you visit Netherlands, you cannot miss out on Stoopwafels. It is made of 2 thin waffles with caramel syrup in the middle. They were first made in Gouda around 1784, which actually started as the poor man's cookie, which were made from leftover crumbs and syrup. Over time, they became one of the most popular Dutch snacks. Markets across the Netherlands still make them fresh daily. As you can see here, the dough gets pressed in a hot iron for just a minute, then carefully taken out while it's still warm and filled with caramel syrup flavored with cinnamon. It is best to eat them warm, or a trick that we learned to warm them is to put them over a cup of coffee or tea so that the caramel syrup melts perfectly. Back in Amsterdam, we visited the Anne Frank house. This is where Anna and her family hid for over 2 years during World War II. Walking through the small doors feels very emotional. Her diary that she wrote here went on to become one of the world's most famous books, named Diary of a Young Girl. If you plan to visit, I suggest that you book your tickets online weeks in advance as it sells out fast. We don't have any footage from inside the house as videography and photography are not allowed. After a short tram ride, we visited the Rijksmuseum, the biggest museum in Netherlands. It is home to masterpieces from Rembrandt, Vermeer and Van Gogh. If you're someone who is an art lover, this is a place you shouldn't miss. Amsterdam is well known for its tulip fields, rows and rows of color stretching to the horizon. In the 1600s, tulips were so valuable that one bulb could cost as much as a house. When we visited, the tulips had not bloomed yet, so when you plan your trip, try to plan the visit in April or the beginning of May. Also visit early in the morning to avoid crowds and catch the best lighting for photos and videos. Later, the same day we drove to Schiphol to do some plane spotting. There is a spot near runway 36 right which has some good views of the aircraft's landing. I will attach the location in the description. Do not forget to carry your camera to capture some good shots. And just like that, this trip came to an end. We were back at Schiphol. We stopped by the Big Eye Amsterdam sign for one last photo. From canals and tulips to cheese and Stoopwafels, this city has so much to offer. Do let us know if you have visited Amsterdam and what was your best memory. If you enjoyed this video, then do check our video of our trip to Edinburgh. Also feel free to check out our flight review videos as well. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video. Bye-bye.